Yes, my husband has sometimes been harder to convince as as we are your age and peak earning age, yeah,
Mhm.
and just reached our 25th anniversary. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Lockdown expenses has showed us tomorrow isn't promised. We work remote. Yes. Yes, it's not promised. It's really not promised. And we have to I think we have to get out of this fear too, especially as Black,
Mhm.
well, I'm gonna say as Black women, we there is a certain amount of fear to step
Mhm.
out there and to do something different. And when we reach the point where we're like, you know what, I've got to do this scared or not, because I
Mhm.
take my YouTube channel as an example. I started this at we've been doing it maybe a year now, and I was never the kind of person who would want to be. You can ask Chai Doll in in the comments. I would have never done this. I hate hate it. Now I'm like, oh, okay. I still get real nervous, but I had to get out of that fear. I had to get out of that fear, and I think again that mentality of being a certain age, you're like, you know what? If I mess up, if I look stupid, so what? You get to that point where you're like, well, whatever. But yeah, we have to get out of that fear, and I think a lot of us are
Mhm.
still in that fear of, well, what if I this or what if I that? And it's like, you got at some point just say, you know what, life is way too short to be stuck in your fear and not doing the solo
Mhm.
travel and taking the chance, because you said you're an introvert. But I want to go back to those roller skates because I bought a
Mhm.
pair of roller skates and I bought them no, I bought them many years ago. I tried twice. I got on them once. I was like, okay, got them on the second time, fell out in my driveway. I haven't put them on since. It's been a number of years.
Oh,
So
no.
congratulations to you.
Look, I go padded
I
up, y'all, and a helmet. Look, hey, broken
didn't
bones
fall
at
on
my
my
age.
head. I fell on my back. I was like, that's
Age
it.
is
I'm
not.
done.
I don't want to have to recover from that. But yeah, I feel like the time. There's no better time in the present.
Yes.
And I was, yeah, so I wanted to ride in my neighborhood. I had to go to a skating rink. I was just like, it's safer in here than it is out there on the
You're right.
concrete.
Yeah. Maybe I should have done a roller skating rink. I didn't even think about that. I was just like, I got a pair. Boom. That's it. So they're
That's it.
sitting in the back of my car. So maybe I'll try roller skating rinks.
It is a great form of exercise, and I
It
was
is.
looking for some new ways. I think also some of the things that I've picked back up in my life. I know that we're talking about solo travel, but some of the things that I've picked up from you know my childhood are actually helping me to connect with other women, with other people. So I
Okay.
picked up crochet again. I've
Okay.
picked up sewing again, and like I said, it's a discovery or a rediscovery of things. I love to read, and so I'm a part of virtual book clubs. But you know, but there's some things that I do when I go to a new city. I'm gonna ride the public transportation because we are
Mm,
so car oriented in the US. And I know we're moving outside the US. So I've got to get used to, how to read the bus schedule and, doing that.
right.
I think I also always go to the local public library. And the
Okay.
public library, well, I've had to do our podcast from the library when the internet has gone down at my house since. And so it's always a great community resource, but also you get a chance to meet people and get a real sense of the community. So I
Yeah.
think when you are solo traveling, there may be some ritual touch points that you can establish for yourself so that it can begin to feel familiar to,
Right.
um, even if the place is different, the process is familiar for you.
Right. Right. So are you finding it easier to, in your 50s now, connecting with women than when you were younger?
The intention around
Mm,
that. So let's see. So when you're a parent, you are probably with other parents, other basketball team parents,
right.
grade level events. Your partner, and so you develop friendships because your kids are together. What I've had to relearn is how to make friends,
Okay.
as someone that is, more on the introverted side, but that is not based on proximity. So, you have work friends, you have, you have, when we were going to church, there were church friends, there were, things like that that are because we're in the same place. I have had to develop, and solo travel has helped me to develop the skills to just reach out to women and say, hey, would you like to have coffee together?
Mm.
Like, that's new for me. Like, it's totally new. And so um, I have gotten better. I can recognize when I have, anxiousness before, and how to work my way to, being okay and being in the new space with new people. And so, yeah, I just feel like I'm creating opportunities to connect, travel. People who love to travel love to talk about their travels. And so I want to be near those folks, and I don't have to carry the conversation. So, like, that is
Yeah.
it's created the opportunity for me to be intentional about some things that I know I want to work on, that I put on my vision board that I didn't realize was a part of what I wanted. Like, it wasn't until I laid the photos I cut out from a magazine, just some things that just resonate. I like this picture. I like this
Yeah.
phrase. I like this. And so when I started laying them out, I used one of those wall post-it uh,
Yeah.
poster, so that you can just, like, the sticky note, but you can put
Mhm.
on the wall that's a poster board size. And I started laying it out, and I was like, friendship? Like, what? You want to connect with people? Introvert? Really? And so I was just like, okay, so how do I mean, and it would literally, like, the more I stared at it, the more I began to look at the world around me, and the opportunities to connect with people presented them to me. And I said, okay, so yeah, some of this is going to be in the flow, but you're going to have to be intentional. And so, yeah, I've created, as a part of those solo travel times, an opportunity in the Exodus Summit community. We can call a meetup and say, hey, I'm in a place, and are you in this place? I'd love to meet with you. And so being a part of groups, like the crochet groups and the sewing groups and the travel groups, it's given me something that's a natural connection, a natural talking point, and a natural opportunity to make new connections intentionally.
Right. Yes. I've have found out for me, because I too am an introvert,
Hmm.
and I found out for me that once I started feeling a little more comfortable or trying to get out of my fear, I've
Hmm.
told myself I'm going to make it a point to reach out to women, who are in the same like mind as myself, and
Hmm.
reach out, because I'm finding out that what I was afraid of that rejection when I was younger, it's really not there. And that, that those people who are like minded are more than happy to, yeah, let's get together, let's do that. And that has slowly gotten me out of this fear of, well, I'm not going to approach them because they might reject,
Mhm.
or they might say no or whatever. But that community to me has become very important, um, especially amongst, women. Like I said, that's the same mindset and around the same age and enjoying the same types of things or going in the same similar directions that I'm going in. So it
Right.
is important to have that community, very important to have that community with other, Black women. So that's yeah, very important. Let's see. Oh, luxury bucket in my 20s. I studied abroad in Europe and was reckless when I backpacked across Europe, but I survived. It wasn't it was it was an formative experience for me. Yeah.
Yes.
I wish more of us would have done that when we were younger. But that just, I know for me it wasn't an option. That wasn't something my mother was even or my father was even thinking of letting me do. Go what? No, you're not going. How you gonna pay for that? But
Exactly.
how you
Exactly.
gonna pay for that? So I know you have a very busy schedule, so I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to. I truly appreciate you coming on here, Dee. And this is your second time. I want to have you and Herman back because those men need to talk some more. And I've been watching you. And real quick, how is your process coming along for where you guys are going to start scouting?
Yeah, so we are planning to put the house on the market. We
Oh,
are doing
okay.
some scouting trips. So I've mixed in a little bit of house sitting, and we're taking off some pretty substantial time,
Okay.
starting at the end of this year to confirm if there are some places. I think that where those would have been just I'd like to see, I think we're going to be taking some action based on the current political environment. Um,
Girl.
so we made sure we had at least one residency, and I think we're going to be moving forward with the second while we're on this trip.